Hi guys, I'm trying something a little different this year for staff meetings. I'm going to be doing a flipped approach whenever I can, which means I will be providing you the information ahead of time, whether it is in written summary or in a video. And the reason being is that I've been doing some reading that doing a flipped meeting or even a flipped classroom is that you front load with the information, and that when you get together as a group, if you just answer the questions and get everybody focused on the tasks that they need to be working on, then they can break off into their sessions and collaborate, work with their peers, work on special projects, or be in your classroom working on whatever you need to work on. So I thought I would give it a try for the introductory to EastCenter topics for our Day 2 meeting, because many of you are busy setting up your classrooms, so I'm just supplying this as a way to get information out. Much of this information is repeated from previous years, so it's not new, but when you get a chance, pay attention to the video or read the summary that's attached in the email. So I'm going to try to get through 7 topics. I'm anticipating bloopers to occur because I don't want to have to create little mini videos and figure out a way to piece them together. So if there are bloopers, we're going to just ignore them because they will happen. I'm not gifted in the ability to roll this out in one take. So here we go. Topic number 1, scheduling updates. We're in a really good spot here in EastCenter. The counselors have been working hard to meet with our new students and parents and look at their transcripts to create schedules, as well as fix any scheduling issues that have been brought to our attention. Currently, we're at 98% of students with a schedule in PowerSchool. That's a very good place to be at this time in August. Classes have not been leveled. My goal is to work on that probably Monday night. Labor Day. So as I'm working on it, and if I change a schedule, I will print up a new copy. The new copies will be placed on your teacher computer workstation on Tuesday morning as students report to the class on their schedule. If that student has a new schedule, give them the new one. They are to discard the old one. Please use the information in the live side of PowerSchool to be taken attendance. If they have a schedule that says they're in your class but they're not in PowerSchool, that means their schedule is wrong. So you need to send them to me immediately in EastCenter. PowerSchool is always accurate. It will be changing constantly, almost on the hour, and it will be very active in terms of the changes that first week. So use PowerSchool. Do not print up a roster and think you can do a paper attendance. You need to use the live side. EastCenter will be running as a triage that first week, which means our goal and our focus is on schedules that first week. Students cannot come in to see their counselors, cannot come in to get any paperwork from their counselors. If there is an emergency, a crisis, obviously counselors will be available, but the only way to enter EastCenter is going to be through me. I will be playing the role of Hodor on that first week in front of EastCenter, which means you cannot get to my counselors if you don't get through me. Inform students that we are allowing changes to schedules only for certain criteria. And I will be vetting the criteria at that door. I too will have my lovely new laptop looking in the historical grades and all of the information I have on students. And if I verify that their reason is accurate, they will get a pink sheet. They fill it out, parents sign it, they bring it back, and then the counselor will make an appointment to see them to change their schedule. Until that schedule is changed, they are to follow the schedule that they have because they have to be in a class. So the reasons that they may change a schedule. They have a class on their schedule that they've already taken, whether it is a previous year, summer school, or credit recovery. They're placed in the wrong level class, such as they may need Spanish 3, but we accidentally put them in Spanish 2. They're missing a core class for their grade level. An example is all 9th graders need a math, science, English, and social studies, such as algebra, geometry, English 9, earth science or bio, and American history. All seniors need to have an English 12 and a math or a math-related credit. So if they're missing one of those cores, they need to come see me. If they have less than a full schedule, all students must be accounted for 6 hours. So if they're missing an hour, they come to me. And then finally, if they are a senior and they're missing a required class for graduation. It is only for those reasons that they will get access to a counselor. We do not give them access because they want to now be with a friend. They've selected a class because of a teacher. They need to change their CPC block. You know what? They changed their mind about a class. I just discovered AP's really hard. I want to drop it. The answer is always going to be no. So it's only for specific reasons. Please make sure they understand that. Students with these concerns are to come to EastCenter during passing time. There will be no entrance in the middle of the hours because they should be seated in a class. Even if the schedule needs to be changed, they must be seated. If they're on your power school, they're to stay seated. They come to see me during the passing time. And it is at that door, once I verify it and I give them a pink slip, they're to go away and then drop off the pink slip and we'll go from there. But they do not get to enter EastCenter that first week. Make sure they understand that. Our goal here in EastCenter is to make sure all schedules are fixed by the end of the first week. And then once we've got schedules fixed, EastCenter will return to normal business and we will be our welcoming center that we always are. But for right now, we are focused on fixing schedules and it will be triage only to enter. Finally, and I've said this year in and year out over and over again, scheduling is complicated. There are so many exceptions to the Michigan Merit Curriculum and things are changing yearly. Leave all scheduling conversations to the counselor. You do not want to be responsible for giving wrong advice to a student. And if a student is like, hey, I want to have you third hour, do you have room in your class? Don't tell them yes, don't tell them no. The company line is always, scheduling is a complicated process. I suggest you go see your counselor in EastCenter to see if anything is possible. All right, so we appreciate your support in terms of that. Topic number 2, EL update. In your packet that you would have received at the beginning of day 2 at our staff meeting is the language line directions, same as it's been in the last couple of years. Call the number, put in the district code, put in your classroom as your personal code. Very useful tool. If you haven't been using this, you need to start using it. I use it every single day, and I would say probably 99% of the time I get a hold of a parent, and it allows us to communicate with a diverse community. So you guys need to be using this. Put it next to your phone, start using it. It's very useful. Because our EL population has been growing, we have gone from 3 English language aides to 4. We are lucky to continue to have Ray, Muntaha, and Snezhina. We're adding on a 4th one by the name of Rhonda Rassam. The aides will be assigned to teachers for the semester, and what's going to happen is second week, I will be running a schedule report to see which classes have our highest number of EL students, and we will be placing the aides accordingly. Another new thing that we will be rolling out with the aides is we will have a 4th hour lunch/tutoring help session where students can go get their lunch and then come to the aides for assistance. This help session will be occurring in room E04 under the supervision of our language acquisition teacher, Kara Fox. The aides will be in there on a rotating fashion during 4th hour, and they can come down for any help, assistance that they may need. The classroom that was used last year, I should say the office, CO5A, that the aides were in, will no longer be the aides' office. The aides are now going to be spending as much time as possible in the classroom that they're assigned in, and if they are not in that classroom, they will be in EO4 working with Kara Fox to service our EL students. The classroom downstairs, CO5A, will be now used for IEPs and for staffings. Do not, please, send any EL students to CO5A for EL services. That's not where they go anymore. It's EO4 upstairs. In the email, I included some WIDA can-do descriptors and some information sheets from previous PDs. It's important that everyone takes a look at it. Previous staff members have been exposed to this. It's a good refresher. New staff members, do take a look at it. We do take our EL services very seriously here at Sterling. We have over 30% of our population is EL students, so we are mindful about making the curriculum and the assessments language accessible to our students. And there'll be more information about how you can utilize our resources to help you with this, specifically Michelle, our LAS. During the staff meeting, I will be showing a PowerPoint on the EL trends, the data, and we will be talking about how we are updating our services for the LAS cycles, which is instructional coaching for our teachers, and the LAT services, which is EL services for our non-sheltered students with Kara. All right, so that will be coming during the staff meeting. Third topic, special ed, 504s, and student case studies. Special ed is identified in PowerSchool with the star symbol. If it's not there and you know the student in special ed, let me know so then we can contact the appropriate person at central office to add that symbol as an identifier. Give us till the end of week 2 to put in the 7th hour provider for our IEP students. And this is out of order. There we go. Sorry. Special ed binders will be assembled and distributed from our special ed team, hopefully by the end of week 2, if not the beginning of week 3. I want to remind you guys the information in the binders is confidential. Be mindful of where you store it, who has access to it, and if you're having a conversation with the students in that binder, do it privately so it is not heard amongst the whole class. In the past handful of years since I've been up here, we've spent a lot of staff meetings and PD time talking about assessment modifications, accommodations, and realistic expectations for our special ed students in terms of what their cognitive scores say that they're capable of with their working memory and their processing speed. I've included a couple of those handouts from those meetings in this email. Your best resource is to always contact the provider of special ed students and have an honest conversation of what these students are capable of doing, and they will be your go-to resource. So I just want to make sure that our previous staff is refreshed with this and our new staff members are aware of our expectations. This is something we've worked on the last handful of years, and it is an expectation that our assessments are properly modified and accommodated, and as well as the workload in terms of what the students can cognitively handle. I want to remind you guys the legal obligation for IEPs and 504s. It is not optional. They must be followed properly. Once you get your binder, which has the the IEP accommodation list in there, and once the counselors email you the 504, you are aware of your obligations, and you need to be following through with them. So this is not an optional thing for you to do. It is legally important that we follow 504s and IEPs. Our 504 students are identified in PowerSchool with that spiraled notebook symbol. If you get a 504 and the student is not identified in PowerSchool, let me know and I'll contact the proper IT person to make sure we get that identifying symbol on there. Counselors will be finalizing and emailing staff 504 plans by the end of week 2, no later than the beginning of week 3, so expect that information to be coming. Final topic in this area is child case studies. You're going to encounter a student that's struggling in your class. It's a given. Once you've done your conversations with the parents and the students, you may want to inform, well, not may. The first step then, if you are concerned that this student may have a serious issue, is you need to inform the counselor and me in EastCenter. We will at that point start talking about a child case study and the types of interventions that we can start embedding, whether it's in the classroom or additional support on the outside, counselor follow-up, assignment of tutors, or if we seek the consultative services of the TCs and the social worker. Please, whatever you do, be mindful of the language you use with parents. Don't start the conversation with words that would lead them to think that an IEP and 504 is what we're talking about, because we don't know yet. The child case study process is a long process. Data needs to be collected. It doesn't just happen after a couple of weeks. Sometimes it could take a whole semester, sometimes it takes the whole school year, and it's at the end of that process where the team on this child case study, which includes the counselor and yourself, and probably the TC and the social worker and myself and another administrator, if we think the best fit for the child is to go through the IEP or 504 process, then we will bring it up. But it is not something that we talk about early on. It is not our first step. It is what occurs at the end of the process. Just be mindful of your words, because when you want to label a child learning disabled or delayed, that's a pretty serious label, and we want to make sure that we have everything in a row and our ducks all lined up if we're going to be going down that route. So mindful of your words, please. Topic number 4, gradebook. So from what I'm understanding is if you logged on to PowerSchool Unified Classroom last year, you should be able to log on to PowerSchool this year, get to Unified Classrooms, and the system is already set up with the parameters from the district, which is 75 assessment, 25% homework, and then 40-40-20, which is 40 card marking 1, card marking 2, and then semester. If you are new, we need to show you how to do the proper login for an initial login into Unified Classrooms, so you need to seek me out. I have the information on that. The go-to contact person for all gradebook Unified Classroom issues is Barb Johnson. And if you need additional help, I'll be available on day 2 of our meetings in CO8 in the afternoon. I'll do the best I can. When I was in the classroom, Unified Classroom was not available, so I'm not nearly as proficient in it as your neighbors are. So do check with the people around you. They could probably help you out tremendously. Topic number 5, Schoolology. This is a brand new one. So the district, the county, the MISD, is moving away from Blackboard to a new platform called Schoolology. The good thing with Schoolology is that once you log on to Office 365, you are right there. You click on the little waffle symbol on the left-hand side, then you click on All Apps, click on Schoolology, hit Accept, and boom, you're in the program. Schoolology is a program that communicates with PowerSchool more efficiently. That was the one thing that was always missing with Blackboard, is if they did an assessment on Blackboard, how does that grade get into PowerSchool? So the ability for the two programs to communicate with Schoolology is much more efficient. The district has moved the curriculum library from Blackboard to Schoolology. You need to know what's in this library. So make sure you log on to Schoolology and take a look at it, because it's got curriculum guides, it's got district assessments, district writing assessments, power standards, resources for SAT, PSAT. So when you get a chance, preview Schoolology. Your contact person for Schoolology is the IT SITS person, Frank. So if you have any issues, you're going to want to contact him. But it's super easy. I included the login with this email, and the district should be emailing all of you guys of how to do it. I had no problems getting in. It is super user-friendly, and you just follow the steps and boom, you're in. So I'm not anticipating any problems. So the only thing I have to remind you is do check it out. Don't wait. Do check it out. There's a lot of good resources on there. All right, topic number 6, first day of school. In your lovely packet, there is a sheet of topics to cover with students on the first day. It includes the schedule for busing and where students are stored for CPC, Math Science Center, radio. Includes important rules to go over, and it gives you some time to go over your syllabus and your rules, and it has a schedule for the first day. All right, so go over this. Something new, though, that's not on here that the kids need to know about is that we will be putting signs on all of the main doors where the students enter from. That will say if you are late arriving to school and you are walking in with a food or beverage from an outside source, you will have to discard it. And there will be waste paper or waste baskets there. Pretty much if they have time to go to Starbucks and Tim Hortons, and we all know I love my Starbucks, but they're not making it on time to school, that it doesn't matter. The security guard's going to be directed that they need to dispose of their liquids and their food immediately and to get to class. So please pass that message on to students. I recommend every single teacher tell them in all 6 hours, because they need to hear it. It's a new one, so a little support from everybody on this will be good. Finally, topic number 7, week 1 attendance. In your packet, there is the step-by-step process of how to take attendance week 1. We have the no-show code, which is only available during week 1. Basically, no-show means you've never put your eyes on the student. They've never been in your classroom. All right? But don't get confused. If they were there on day 1 and then they were not there on day 2, that's not a no-show. That's an unverified. So read the details on this page and look at the samples of student A, student B, and student C. It gives you examples of when to use no-show. This has to be accurate, guys. We have to identify the no-show students and have our rosters cleaned within a week. So please pay attention to the attendance and how to take it, and use the no-show when it's appropriate. Another big thing for attendance is this school year is an audit for our attendance records. Because it's an audit year, that means administration will be running reports on a weekly basis, if not daily sometimes, to make sure that staff are submitting attendance properly and on a timely fashion. I highly suggest, and it should just be practice for all of you at this point, that you have to have the habit of taking attendance at the beginning of the hour. And it has to be accurate attendance, not just hitting submit in PowerSchool. We need you to visually verify that every student is in front of you. Because of this audit, we need our attendance records to be as clean as possible. So if you don't have a habit of taking a first hour or every hour at the beginning of every hour, you need to start picking up that habit. Whether it's done during a bell ringer, a reflective piece with staff, or you've got a different type of classroom management process where the students are getting ready for the class to begin, you need to be in the habit of taking attendance accurately every hour. All right, so those are the 7 topics. Hopefully this video didn't drive you crazy. If you didn't watch the video, it doesn't matter. Everything is in the typed version of what I sent you via email. All right. But you are responsible to know this information. When we meet on day 2 in the afternoon during the PLC time, I will be, or it's a PLC debriefing time, I think after lunch, I will be asking the staff, does anybody have questions on topic 1, scheduling? No? Beautiful. Topic 2, EL? No? Beautiful. Topic 3, and I'll go through the list. And if there's no questions, we'll move through it, and hopefully this expedites the process, and we move along and allows you to spend more time being collaborative with one another, setting up your classrooms, and doing things that are going to impact our students directly. Okay? Hope you guys have a great start to the new year, and this is the first video, the first time I flipped, so go easy on me. Thanks. Have a great day.